Much needed and welcome update from our friend Avi Lipkin right there in Israel. Folks, you can watch mainstream media, just turn it off. It's worthless. What matters is what you're seeing with these independent sources that are not for sale. And as you watch this, please go to BiblicalAlliance.com. Avi is an author and a speaker, among other things, but when he's not able to travel during wartime, that's the lifeline, BiblicalAlliance.com. If you love Israel and you love Avi, go to BiblicalAlliance.com and support the work. We know that you can, and you can do something. And so collectively, that something is a lifeline to our dear friend right there in Israel. So we're going to go ahead and start. It's As Goes Israel, So Goes the World, with none other than the founder of the Bible Block Party, author, speaker, extraordinaire, and dear friend Avi Lipkin. How are you there, sir?
Reporting for duty.
I would say, hey, what's the latest with Israel? But I have a feeling that most people think they know. What saith thee?
Well, when you're saying what's new with Israel, we're looking at Iran, Lebanon, Gaza, Syria, Iraq, Yemen, President Trump, the United States, MAGA, all kinds of different things which are all in the picture.
Right. And we know that a vote in the wrong direction is for Hezbollah and Hamas and ISIS and the Republic of Iran. I'm amazed still at the gullibility of people who hope for better. But here we are, and it's voting day. If you're watching this right now live, it is voting day. Man, I sure hope you utilize that right that a lot of Iranians did not wake up today to be able to use, and that our forefathers bled for. Please vote for America. And when you vote for America, you're voting for our allies as well, especially our only ally, true ally in the Middle East, which is Israel. And folks, you got to make the time, or either be prepared to explain to your grandchildren why you didn't vote when communism and Islamism, transgenderism, globalism, nihilism, all of that was so openly on display with the left. You at least need to vote. If you don't vote, then you are voting for the left. And so as long as we have voting machines, as long as we're the dumbest country still using voting machines instead of paper ballots, which we are set up for, only takes 3 people per county, 3 county commissioners or a judge and 2 county commissioners to vote for paper ballots. The paper's already there. It's already set up. And there's no chance to say, well, we really don't know who won because there's no way to verify it, especially when it was going through Venezuela and China and such, But the Feinstein-owned voting machines that have marching towards democracy on them, you need to be wise and do more than just vote. You need to run for something. But PatriotsInAction.com is where you need to connect, PatriotsInAction.com and BiblicalAlliance.com. Avi, your alliance is not just the Bible Block Party, but your alliance, I believe, are patriots and those of faith and those who recognize that our only ally in the Middle East is Israel, and it's very, very important that we maintain that relationship. But with that said, what are the latest words coming from Netanyahu?
Okay, well, Netanyahu is the same Netanyahu as always. He has been pushing for this war 20 years already, because our intelligence told us exactly what Iran was planning. Did you ever hear of Steve Witkoff?
I have heard that name, yeah.
Yeah, he was negotiating with the Iranian leadership, and today it came out in the Israeli news that the Iranian leadership told Steve Witkoff, according to his testimony, that they had enough uranium for 11 nuclear weapons to be used against Israel and all the enemies of the Islamic Republic.
Right.
All the enemies of the Islamic Republic also include the Gulf states. And Iran has been launching ballistic missiles at their good friends, Qatar. Qatar, the great friend defending Iran, getting attacked with over 50 missiles. Saudi Arabia, an ally of the United States, very important for the Abraham Accords. President Trump wants very much, and Israel wants that there be an Abraham Accord signature of the Saudis. They're getting attacked. Their oil wells are getting attacked. Their oil refining capacities are getting attacked. United Arab Emirates, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and American soldiers are being killed in action defending American bases in the Middle East. And this here, Netanyahu's on the TV right now. And basically, what he's saying is that Israel will continue attacking Iran. I received today more information, actually from a Saudi newspaper, that that Israeli commandos have already stepped on Iranian soil. We have boots on the ground, Israeli army soldiers, boots on the ground in Iran.
Right.
And my feeling is that they are going to be clearing certain areas of the IRGC, the Iranian Revolutionary Guards, Nazi murderers of the Iranian people. 32,000 Iranians were killed by the IRGC. Evidently, it's not possible for the Iranian people to rise up and overthrow these terrorists because they don't have the weapons. So Israel is there, the Israeli commandos are there. This will hasten the overthrow of the Iranian regime. I mean, President Trump supports this 100%. But President Trump promised there would not be American boots on the ground in Iran. So Israel's going in. Israel is doing the dirty work. Everything is in coordination with the U.S. military. And praise God, the American Air Force is doing a wonderful job. The Israeli Air Force is doing a wonderful job. Now Hezbollah in Lebanon has decided to open up again a front from Lebanon against Israel. They're going to pay. They're going to pay dearly. Lebanon cannot be a democratic country for the Christians, the Druze, and the Sunnis until this crazy Iranian-backed Shiite Hezbollah is defeated and disarmed. So we're going to be seeing the map of the Middle East changing very soon. It's a great thing. I heard that the Kurds in Iraq next door have already sent their troops into the Kurdish province of Iran. So the Kurds are there. I do regularly TV interviews with Azerbaijan TV. And now Azerbaijan, most Americans don't know anything about Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan is Turkish, but it's Shiite. So the Turks hate Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan hates the Turks. And the lady who interviews me says, we are really hoping that the northern province of the Azeri province of Iran will break away from Iran and join Azerbaijan because it's Azerbaijani people. The Kurdish area will break away and join the Kurds of Iraq. Maybe the only solution for Iran is to dismember the country. In Ahwaz, in the southwest of the country, you have Arabic speakers. They want to break away and join Iraq. And you have to remember, all of the oil wealth of Iran comes from Ahwaz, from the Arab section. Then you have the Baluchis in the southeast of Iran, and they are Sunni Muslims, and they are virulently against the Shiite regime. And I'll tell you something, the original inhabitants of Iran were not Shiite Muslims, they were Zoroastrians. Zoroastrians is kind of a pagan religion like from India, but they were always, listen to this, they were always good friends of the Jewish people.
Wow.
And for 3,500 years, the Zoroastrians were friends of the Jews. And we are really hoping that after the Israeli military does its job in Iran and gives arms to the Iranian people so they can fight against the IRGC, the son of the Shah, who will become a constitutional monarch in Iran, will bring democracy to the people. There will be elections, but a lot of bad people have to be judged and they have to be executed. Whoever kills 32,000 innocent civilians, these people cannot walk the streets anymore. So it's kind of like Nazi Germany in April, May of 1945. Germans are great people. The Nazis were not. So Iranians are great people, but the IRGC are Nazis. They're the Iranian version of the Nazis. So we're hoping that together the U.S. and America will be able to do the job. We are very disappointed in Keir Starmer of England, who was supposed to be an ally of America, and he's condemning the American-Israeli alliance attacking Iran.
Of course, it's a coward.
My Christian friends, I just did another Zoom teaching with Lori Bond and her group in Fort Worth, and there are some people from England, and they are regularly on the Zooms, and we're agreeing that whatever happened to the great United Kingdom, to the great country we know as England, and so that's another. A lot of things are changing, and but the most important thing is Iran has to be freed of the IRGC. The Ayatollahs, as you know, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has been eliminated in Lebanon. A lot of the top leadership of Hezbollah has been eliminated. So, you know, we have a lot of wars here in the Middle East. October 7th, 2023, we were facing war on 7 fronts. We are still watching carefully because Egypt and Turkey are threatening war when we're finished with Iran. So, not easy, not easy. If you have an army of 300,000 men, it's very hard to fight an army of 1 million from Turkey and an army of 1 million from Egypt, all with American weapons. So we'll do one thing at a time. First, we have to finish with Iran, and then we shall see what we do. Finish with Iran, finish with Hezbollah. We have not yet seen missiles from Yemen, from the Houthis. We hope they're smart enough not to try that again. All I can say is Biden embargoed us. We lost soldiers because of Biden.
Obama.
The embargo. President Trump undoubtedly is a man who understands the picture. And when you say to people to vote, people should think about does America want to go back to Biden and to Kamala Harris? That kind of mentally retarded thinking. And so hopefully, by the way, I'm giving the mentally retarded people a bad name by saying Biden and Kamala Harris.
Yeah. You're insulting them, comparing them to that level. As you should. You know, the parasites will always vote the same. But you mentioned Starmer earlier, you know, like the Democrats in America, they care more about votes than they do the safety of their own people. They have their private guards. They have their gated communities. They don't care. It's about votes and money and power. And, you know, unfortunately, that crosses oceans. That same evil, satanic, predatorial, communist, globalist, socialist, Luciferian, pedophile atrocity is the same spirit all over the world, and they coagulate together and then turn on each other. You know, I'm sure you saw Hillary and Clinton, you know, Bill, and their depositions. Everyone knows they're guilty. And so again, evil loves to use laws against those who are the righteous and just more of the same. But folks, if you don't vote in America, shame on you. And if you don't pray for the peace of Israel and pray for your country, shame on you. We're told to do that. In our Bibles, we're told to do that. In the Old Testament, to pray for your nation. You know, a true prophet. We have a lot of prophets over here, profiteers that are being exposed. I know a few. And at the same time, you know, a true prophet will cry for his country, cry for his nation, pray on behalf of his nation. Of course, we are commanded to pray for the peace of Israel, for Jerusalem. And so, but we're all in this together. But it doesn't surprise me about Starmer. Starmer refused to vote against child brides. He refused, to stand up against incest. It would cost him Muslim votes. But in the mix of all this, what I'm curious about is where exactly do you see Egypt standing? I mean, I think I already know the answer, but weren't they one of the biggest proponents of the Abraham Accords? What does this do with all that?
Egypt was actually the first country to make a peace agreement with Israel.
Right.
But I know that this program is about half an hour.
Right.
I probably need about 2-3 hours to explain how many times Egypt was on the verge of attacking Israel, breaking the peace accords. And I know you don't necessarily like this guy, but Tony Blair participated in disarming a number of wars in which Arab countries were going to attack Israel. When Prime Minister Netanyahu came into government in 1996, and since then, Tony Blair is not such a bad guy. He may be a globalist, but he's not such a bad guy. Egypt feels that the peace agreement with Israel is a frog that they have to swallow. They don't like it. Egypt wants to see Israel destroyed. But they made a peace agreement because in Islam, you can make peace with the enemy if you have no choice, and Jimmy Carter did not really give them any choice. He didn't give Begin a choice. He didn't give Sadat a choice. So they signed a peace agreement. But the hatred of the Jews and the Christians comes from the Islamic way of thinking. And we are very, very close to a war at any moment with them. I have to add another thing also, that the Chinese Air Force flies regularly into Egypt, into South Sinai, with weaponries and all kinds of high technology to blind the Israeli army so that to help the Egyptians to attack Israel. So I'm in a very friendly manner warning Egypt not to do that, because if they do that, it's not a problem for the Aswan Dam to go. When Egypt wanted to fight the Shiites in Syria, Iran said they were going to nuke the Aswan Dam. So God works in mysterious ways. But Israel can see all the thousands of tanks, Egyptian tanks on the border, which is against the peace agreement. The overwhelming numbers of Egyptian soldiers. There's a hatred of Israel, a hatred of the Jews, because Islam is triumphalist, and they want to see the destruction of Israel and the end of the peace accords. But I think that the war with Iran is helping for this moment, for this time, to stabilize the peace agreements with Egypt. Turkey is an enemy. Turkey under Erdogan is an enemy. They are sitting back and watching to see what happens to Iran. But the dream of the Turkish Caliphate is to see Iran fall, Shiite Iran, and to be replaced by the Sunni Turkish Caliphate. So these two countries, Turkey and Egypt, are enemies of Israel. We have a peace agreement with Egypt, but it's very much on the surface.
Very interesting. I remember hearing from a first-hand account of Biden halting the Abraham Accords because they wanted Hezbollah and Hamas to be considered nations under the Abraham Accords, which they are not nations. Very interesting, folks. Know who you're voting for, and again, such a chess game, But I was just curious what the posturing was currently with Egypt, and of course the Abraham Accords. You see in the headlines, which you can't trust anything, folks, in mainstream media. Surely you know that by now. But you see in the main headlines, the Khomeini successor, and how, they want to talk. They reached out to Trump. They want to talk again. I don't think it's an option. Another Khomeini, another successor in this regime. Is that seriously an option to anyone?
Did you hear what Trump said today?
I haven't heard yet today.
The Iranians want to talk.
I bet they
So
do.
what was the answer of President Trump? Too late.
Yeah.
Too late.
Yeah. You want to talk now, in the midst of threatening us. I guess it makes sense in the mind of an animal. I guess that makes sense. But there's no turning back, in my opinion. There's no turning back. And of course, so many things have been revealed all at the same time. Folks, I sure hope you're voting. I really, really hope you're voting. You gotta, and if you are historically a Democrat that has seen that your party has been taken over by the worst of the worst, and there's both actors on both sides, I know that, but the ones driving the bus are for your destruction. Well, don't just not vote. Vote for someone who's actually going to fight for America. I don't blindly follow any man, but actions speak louder than words, as they say. And the actions of this president, even down to the confronting of the communists and Islamists when he said, stand if you believe that American citizens should come before illegals, that should have told you what you needed to know. But don't just not vote. You need to vote for America. You need to vote for our children. And again, I'm not sure how apprised you are, Avi, of the Epstein files, of the revelations, the atrocities, in both sides, but especially the left. People, I guess they're in denial. They don't know what to do. And people that have veered into the files and into the videos have been forever altered and changed, traumatized, quite frankly. It's traumatizing to see the level of evil that has always existed in this world. But you're responsible for what you know. And if you know to vote, you better vote, or you're going to vote the wrong way without even knowing it. If you know what I mean. So we're in quite a deal here. That's why it's important. Go to biblicalalliance.com, support Avi Lipkin, and go to patriotsinAction.com and support your life and freedom. Vote, show up, and run for something. Some of you have leadership in you. You know that you need to run for something. If not now, then when? If not you, then who? If not where, here, then where? I didn't grow up wanting to be a politician, Avi, but I'm most likely going to run for something too. We have to occupy places of leadership. Otherwise, darkness will. You've seen the vacuum. You saw the joke of that person they called Biden. Doesn't sound like a conspiracy if you read the Epstein files, does it? I'm not sure if you heard about that, but here we are, and a golden hope for the first time in a long time. We didn't start a war, folks. We ended a 47-year war, and we have to stand with those who stand for freedom and life. Stand for life. Well, I've asked about Netanyahu, and let me ask about the Lipkin family. You do have Lipkin tours that's on hold for right now, but I still want to encourage people to be connected, because if you haven't had a chance to visit the Holy Land, you need to. I would say while it's still there, but we're told that in God's word that He will defeat His enemies. And what is the best way to connect with Lipkin Tours while we're talking about that?
Well, you have lipkintours.com.
Yep.
And
right
if people want to write to Aaron, my son, he's the CEO, you write to Aaron, Aaron, at lipkintours.com.
It's a great website. Very, very user-friendly. Very easy to navigate. And, of course, how many years now? How many years have you done Lipkin Tours?
I don't know, maybe 15, maybe 20, because Aaron has dedicated his life to bringing tours to Israel. And I want to say now, I know the time is running out for this show, but I wanted to say that there are those people, Jew or Christian, who are nominal Jews, nominal Christians, who say many things about the Bible not being true. Um, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob did not exist. Moses, Aaron did not exist. Joshua didn't exist. And one of the tours my son does is to a place called the Altar of Joshua.
Hmm.
And this proves archaeologically, scientifically, that the Israelites came from Egypt, crossed over the Jordan, and Joshua, who didn't exist, of course, Joshua got up at Joshua's altar and he blessed six tribes. And not that he blessed, he explained the blessings and the curses to six tribes and six tribes. And they found archaeological proof that they found the place. And if you want to prove the veracity of the Bible, all you have to do is go to Joshua's altar, go to Shiloh, not Shiloh in Tennessee, Shiloh in Israel, go to Bethel, the real Bethel, and all of this proves the veracity of the Bible. And of course, Jerusalem and all the other holy places, holy for Jews, holy for Christians.
Yes, and archaeology on a daily basis proves the Bible has always been true. But yeah, those people shouldn't even call themselves Christians. They're not practicing the faith; it's a hobby.
I think the problem with these Jews and Christians who are nominal is that they are ignorant, and in order not to be ignorant, you have to study. I think that's why I'd love to go to church. I'm a Jew, but I'd love to go to church to learn the Bible from the Christian perspective, study the Bible in Jewish synagogues from the Jewish perspective. And there's a reason the Muslims hate the Jews and the Christians. And they say the Jews and the Christians are one people. The Jews and the Christians are the people of the book. And I would say that's God speaking, but in this case, it's the devil speaking, because the devil seeks the destruction of the Jews on Saturday and the Christians on Sunday. And so coming to Israel helps to strengthen your faith as a Christian or a Jew, and we stand together. I think the Messiah is not far away. He's going to be on the Mount of Olives very soon for the Jews and the Christians. And that's the reason I formed the Judeo-Christian Bible Bloc Party. And my party will give representation to Christians in Israel, Christian citizens, to be members of our Knesset, our Congress. And all of this, I think, is in what we call the Messianic times that we are living in.
Well, the Bible is true. It is true. If you don't know by now, folks, you're just brain dead. Sorry, love you enough to tell you the truth. That's how you know someone loves you. They'll warn you, even if it costs. And we've been doing that for a long time now. We've been doing this for a long time now, Avi. 3 years now.
3 years, yes.
And so, folks, if you're serious about supporting Israel, and especially this, I would say this providential party that was founded by Avi Lipkin, there will be another exodus to Israel, and the Bible Bloc Party will be needed. Then go to BiblicalAlliance.com. That $8 energy drink can wait. Put your seed in a good soil, and that's Avi Lipkin. I've never asked you for money, but I'm asking you to support Avi, and of course the work of GLC. But BiblicalAlliance.com. Avi's been volunteering his time on this show for 3 years, so bless him and be a blessing. You can be blessed by being a blessing. That's not why you bless, but you are blessed when you are a blessing. You reap what you sow, and sow good seed into Avi Lipkin while he is home, faithfully reporting the news, not able to travel. And so be a blessing today, BiblicalAlliance.com. Also, go to PatriotsInAction.com. It's free to join. You'll see Avi on there too. He's going to have his own platform on Patriots in Action. In the meantime, pray for Israel and America, because as goes Israel,